Hi, my name is Lara. My job is tour guide, but unfortunately because of the virus COVID, I'm not working since February this year. So during the first lockdown, we were obliged to stay home. I spent the free time I had in baking, cooking, because Italy, our beautiful country, is famous for art, but there is something else that you find in Italy and we're proud of. Our food, Italian cuisine, it's really tasty. Unfortunately, I put on some weight. So now that we have been locked down a second time, I started cooking some healthier recipes, as the one I'd like to show you now. It's a traditional recipe from northern Italy. It's called pasta and fagioli. That is pasta with beans. It's fast, it's cheap and healthy. So let's now see the ingredients you'll need. You will need some onion, not the white onion, better the brown one, a quarter of an onion. Then a stem of celery, one small carrot, some fresh rosemary, if you have. If you don't have, okay, forget it. And well, the most important ingredient is this, Fagioli Borlotti, the Borlotti beans. I don't know if you can find this kind of bean. It looks like this, you see? It's a kind of white with red spots. In case you don't find, it's not a problem. You can use another kind of bean, not completely white. So choose brown or red one. Then what we need is pasta, but a small kind of pasta. See these little ones? Not the same. I mean, don't take any spaghetti or macaroni that they take long time to cook. You need a pasta that is ready in 5 minutes. So the ingredients here are for 2 people. This is about, it's 140 grams of pasta. That should be 1.5 cups, if I'm not wrong. Then you will need 3.5 cups of vegetable broth. It's about 3/4 of a liter. This. The tomato concentrate. Tomato concentrate is made of tomatoes and salt. It makes the food, it gives to the food a very nice red color and makes it more tasty. Then you can make this recipe vegetarian and no vegetarian. That is, if you'd like it vegetarian, you must use olive oil. If you prefer the no vegetarian, then you need, well, this is lardo. Lardo is the fat of a pig, but you can use bacon, not the smoked one. So see, this is the amount for 2 people, and garlic. Okay, so what you'll need to do is, of course, to wash this. Then you must chop the onion, the celery, the carrot and the rosemary. Apart, you must chop it so in a very small, this fat with the garlic to make a kind of it looks like a jelly, but I will show you how later. So, see, this is how I sliced the celery, onion, rosemary and carrot. You don't need to make them very small. On the contrary, for the lardo and garlic, that is the part of the recipe that takes longer, because you must chop it like this No, T1 is really very small. And it's all mixed together, but you don't see anymore the fat and the garlic. Okay, see, this is the result I was telling you before. In Italian it's called battuto. Battuto means hit many times. See, you don't see the difference between the fat and the garlic anymore. So, I prepared the vegetable broth, only vegetable, don't use the meat broth. And now in this pot, I put the battuto inside. It's sticky, as you can see. Well, I'm not a real chef, a cook, so I do like this. Then, fire. And then I wait till when this fat melts and becomes almost transparent. So I like to use the wooden spoons, the cooking spoons, even if now you don't find them in the restaurants anymore. They're not considered very, healthy if you don't clean them as they should be cleaned. Well, while we wait for the battuto to melt a little bit, in northern Italy, most of our recipes have pork meat as the main ingredient. While the more you go south of Italy, instead of using pork, they prefer to use other kind of meats, fish and olive oil. Olive oil, in fact, is much healthier. I personally prefer the olive oil, but I wanted to show you the original recipe. Okay, now we put the vegetables inside. They must not be brown, so it's necessary to stir it just for 1 minute. The fire must not be very high, and then I will add the beans. I rinsed the beans from the can. And yeah, one minute. And now I will add some broth. So that the beans and vegetables, they become softer. Well, you can use fresh beans if you have. Fresh beans, well, they will take a longer time to cook. That is why I used the tinned ones. Or the dry beans. Well, dry beans, it's a longer preparation because the day before you must put them in a pot with water. The following day you must cook them for 1 hour, or if you have the steam cooker, 20 minutes. With the tinned beans is much faster. Okay, so and now I will see. Everything has started to boil. And now I will pour the whole broth in it. I lower the fire I put the lid on, not completely closed, a little bit like this, otherwise everything will come out. And I will let it cook for about 15 minutes. Okay, time now. As you see, the beans and vegetables now are soft enough. I take the pot off here on a wooden base, and with this, I suppose the name is blender, I make it a soup. Okay, now it's time to add the tomato concentrate or paste. 1 spoon. See how dark it is inside, otherwise the colors remain too light, kind of. Okay, ready. Then this we don't need anymore. Away with that. Back on fire. I always keep some boiling water because in case it's not enough for the pasta, I can add it. Now I pour the pasta in. Oops, one has escaped. Okay. And now it must boil for 5 minutes, according to what is written on the pasta package. If it is already too much thick, then add the boiling water. You better watch it, because it happens that sometimes the pasta sticks on the bottom of a pot. So you don't have to rinse, you don't have to be here the whole time, but better check it. So I let it simmer for 7 minutes, very low fire, as you can see. Unfortunately, I had to stir it quite often because this is a kind of pasta that sticks, and now the pasta is soft and ready. So turn off, and I add some salt, and I let it, we like to say, we let it rest for a couple of minutes. So here is the result, our pasta with beans. If you don't like it that thick, you must add more broth. The best would be to serve it with, this is Parmesan cheese, grated, just a couple of spoons of cheese, not much. 1 and 2. Then the best would be some black pepper. And olive oil, just a C, that's the rule, only a C of olive oil. And that's it. And of course, the best is to eat it with a red wine. Well, my husband, that is my movie director, is telling me, remember to tell them that I'm here. Yes, oh, well, they have seen there are 2 dishes here. Well, once the COVID will be over throughout the world, I hope to see you in Italy, to enjoy our beautiful country with its art, good food and good wine. Ciao ciao!